Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Saturday Football Show. We are back and we are fresh off of that game. Manchester United beating Chelsea 2-1. We were all here. We hate watching.
I hate watching. 100%.
It wasn't strong enough. Joining us tonight is Quams, James and Nick. We've got stacks of lineup. I feel like we should probably just start with that game then, shouldn't we? Nick, you was there, you were sweating.
I'm surprised you still got your jacket on.
It's actually crazy to me that Chelsea have just lost to Manchester United. I know that they have a terrible record there. They don't win there since 2013. But it's Manchester United. Even Spurs beat them 4 times last year. Yeah. We're talking about Chelsea here.
Yeah, but so look, obviously, we were a man up for basically the whole half. Robert Sanchez with a crazy challenge.
It was a rash one, isn't it?
Rash challenge.
Early on as well.
Early on.
What
I
is
have
it
to
with
say
these
though,
keepers? Just, what are they drinking? What are they on?
Yeah, I know. Emiliano Martinez on the same thing. Last game of the season, and that cost them Champions League football. Yeah, quite funny. But no, the head on from Sesko was actually good. I'll give him a bit of credit for that because he actually flicked it on, which is something which Rasmus Højlund would not have done last season, for example. So a little bit of credit to Benjamin Sesko for that. And Mbeumo does well to take it past him. And yeah, Robert Sanchez rationed the challenge, red card, and that is the reason why we actually went on to dominate that game. That is the first time that we have seen United kind of dominate in midfield, and that was simply because we were a man up. The decisions from Enzo Maresca afterwards did raise eyebrows, I have to say. So 100%. Esteval went off, Pedro Neto went off, shortly after Cole Palmer went off, but we don't know whether that's an injury or what the situation was there.
Slight injury.
I've heard.
What was it? We don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. You reckon it's to do his back?
Somewhat, but I saw him like holding his back a little bit, but I heard from other Chelsea fans were telling me he's got some sort of injury kind of problem going on.
Right.
But he's just he's coming off the back of one, isn't he? So that Bayern game was his first start since the injury. He came on against Brentford last weekend. But obviously you come off the back of an injury. You come on against Brentford, you play basically the full 90 against Bayern. I think it might have been the full 90, and then straight into this game. So maybe it could have been something, or maybe he just wasn't happy that he got taken off.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think with Maresca, it's just like we said, it's quite shocking that he brought most of the key attacking players off.
Yeah. Essentially,
he took them all.
He packed it in after 5 minutes. He was like, "No, off you come. We're not doing this." You know, we see who was it that went off? Neto that went off, and we saw Esteval go off. You're 5 minutes into the game, and with respect, you are playing Manchester United. It doesn't matter if you're at Old Trafford these days.
Exactly.
That is just throwing the towel in a little bit early.
Psychologically, this is supposed to be what the World Club champions, isn't it?
Yeah, but no one cares.
But how is that even going to help you? That's not going to instill any confidence into anyone. Sacking it off 5 minutes, like he brings Esteval off, you're like, okay, one attacker, at least you got Cole Palmer, Neto, whatever. Then he takes Pedro Neto off, tries to put extra defenders on because you've got one goalkeeper sent off. That's not going to instill any confidence in the defenders you've already got in there. Then he takes Cole Palmer off for this kind of injury, but if he had a pre-existing injury, surely he would be the first player you take off. He wouldn't be the second. So you're shutting up shop, instantaneously concede after that, and then he starts tinkering the formation left, right and centre. He changes it 3 or 4 times. How is anyone meant to get any flow or momentum into the game when you've changed formation 4 times? He had no confidence in the game. Going down to 10 men against a gettable Man United side.
A very gettable side. It seems to me that he made those decisions in terms of taking those 2 players off and changing the system. And it must be that Cole Palmer then just had to come off, because I don't think that you would logically you wouldn't sit there and take off your best player. So it must be injury related.
Potentially. I also think there is one side of me that kind of might understand his thinking. So the Cole Palmer one, whether it was an injury or not, I can maybe understand that you're a man down. Cole Palmer gives you nothing in terms of legs, in terms of running. He doesn't really give you anything. He's only an on-ball kind of player.
Yeah, but he's a moment man.
But when you're a man down, I can kind of understand it. And the second thought that maybe he had is that, man, if you want to get at us, Man United, you go through the central areas. You don't go out wide as such. So if you want to go through us, through the middle, I kind of understand Santos and Joao Pedro. Maybe those 2 in transitional moments can link up. But then again, the argument there is, could Cole Palmer have not done what Santos done? With a little bit less off the ball. So there is that argument. But like we say, it's up in the air because we don't know Cole Palmer's injury status.
We are speculating at this point. But
still, from a Man United point of view, though, I have to say that second half was poor. So Casemiro, right? I mean,
on.
Listen.
Get it off your chest, back.
0 red cards at Real Madrid, 4 at Manchester United. This guy's experience has gone backwards on him because when he was younger and probably hot-headed at Real Madrid, he didn't get sent off at all. Comes to United, you think senior guy, like he should know, like have know-how how to get around the game. 4 red cards at United. Both of them were just unnecessary, like yellows. But the worry for me is that when you go 10v10 in the second half, it was Chelsea pretty much. If I get the stats up for the second half, this is woeful. So the second half, 72% possession for Chelsea. 10v10, there's no excuse.
In the second half, it was 72%.
72% possession for Man United. So even in the
this
game
team is so dead. How Chelsea just lost that? This is insanity.
Because they had nothing. Do you know the amount of times I saw them springing through counterattacks? João Pedro, beautiful hold-up play. You're seeing there's opportunity to get at Man United, and there is just absolutely no one around him, man. He's got acres of space around him. No Chelsea players anywhere near him. As you said, even with 10 men, there were so many holes like a colander in that Man United side ready to be exposed that just weren't being exposed because of tactical issues. And as you say, if you were going to go and lump 5 defenders at the back anyway, why not start that way? Why did you change it so quickly? I get it's Old Trafford. It's one of the bigger pitches. It's not a nice pitch to be down to 10 men on. I understand that. But tinkering the formation that many times, having no outrunners, because when you take all your forward players off, it makes it easier for a side to attack you. That's what made it so easy for Man United. You got no fear of anything coming 100%. Back against you, so you can just park everything down at the halfway line.
There was no outball for them.
Not at all. But look, there is a positive for you, Nick. This is your second win of the season. You have won. So congratulations on that.
Well needed.
Very hear the bitterness in your voice.
Congratulations. There has to be some positives that you can take from that. I think we were talking before the show, weren't we, about this formation. It's something that just everyone is speaking about constantly, even on weeks United don't play. That this formation is just crazy work because if it's broken, at some point you have to fix it. I've just had that with Ange. You know, sometimes you can't just die on the hill on your morals. Like you have to change the system to be able to benefit the team in the best way. And we were talking about teams that have obviously gone and been successful with the 3 at the back, and other than Chelsea under Conte, you can't really think of any other team that has been successful in the Premier League doing it, and you have to have the personnel to do it as well, which Manchester United just don't really have.
They're struggling. They're really struggling. And I think it goes to show as well, when you're listening to Amorim, I think before the game, what did he say? It would take the Pope. Not even the Pope could change his mind, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, you better win today.
Not even the Pope.
You know what's funny?
Do you not rate his stubbornness a little bit though? Because a lot of the great managers in the past, whether it's Mourinho, whether it's Guardiola,
they had clout to do it. It was about Jose Mourinho came here and set his stall out and said, "This is how I am. I'm the special one." He'd already set the stall out.
Even Pep Guardiola, his first year in the Premier League wasn't going that well, but he was stubborn to his philosophy, and eventually it worked out. Do you not rate that a bit from Amorim? Because there's a lot of pressure in that Man United
Ruben Amorim
job.
came here with a hope, a dream and some drip. Like,
but
that's it.
There is a difference, though. There is a difference. You can come to a club with a football philosophy and say, this is my style of football. You then need to be adaptable within 100%. That style to go, sometimes I want 3 in midfield. Sometimes I want 2. Sometimes I want 3 centre-backs. Sometimes I want 2. Philosophy, you can have a philosophy. Pep has always had a football philosophy, but when he first came in, it was small technical players. It was inverted fullbacks. Then it became, and at some point it was a false 9. Then it became Haaland, target man number 9, 4 centre backs, 2 of them as your fullbacks. It's adapted. It's changed
every single season. Maybe bar last because of what happened to City last season. But you're spot on in the sense that every single season, Pep has changed something. A tiny little bit of a tinker here or there. Even Arne Slot, when he came in, his style of football was obviously different to Jurgen Klopp's, but even just having that kind of little double pivot going on with McAllister and having Gravenberch, like small little tweaks, like just to shore up the areas that you're not good at. I still think it's crazy. I know he did score today, Bruno Fernandes, but it is still crazy to be playing him out of position when he is your best player.
It is Lulu.
It's a Lulu.
Since coming into the Premier League, he has created by far the most chances. By far, it's not even close. And you've put him as your quarterback number 6. Like he picks up the ball basically where a centre back would pick it up. It is absolutely ludicrous in that sense, and it doesn't play to a lot of our strengths. Kobbie Mainoo is not a player who should be on the bench.
No, he's not.
Simple as.
He's not.
It's not up for debate for me. So there's so many, and it's like you have to be and I point towards Thomas Frank at Spurs. It's really frustrating seeing how quickly He's made this Tottenham side competitive.
Yeah.
Like under Ange Postecoglou, it was a circus. It was a madhouse.
Jokes.
It was a madhouse.
It was fun to watch.
It's taken.
Had so much fun last season.
Yeah, it's taken him 2 months to get Spurs together and actually play competent football.
Yeah, because you can change your philosophy or just think of a philosophy really, other than just go out there and have a good time, lads. Essentially, Yeah,
his stubbornness is going to kill him.
We're talking about United in a way that as if they've lost today. They haven't.
Yeah, but it seems, sorry to cut you, it just seems like it was papering over the cracks in the sense that it's inevitable what's going to happen with Man United based on what we're seeing and based on what Amrin has been saying about the team. The performance there as well, all right, cool, they go a man down, but still... There's nothing, when I look at that performance, I've taken my Arsenal hat off as well.
Take it off, put it to the side. Put it to the side.
Shut up.
I've taken it off and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, why is it, I feel like, I question, why did he take off Sesko? Why?
I don't mind that.
Why don't you mind that?
Because later on in the game it basically became a front two of Cunha and then Mbeumo and then Mount. So I understand you have legs there because Sesko, unless you're getting service into him, he's not really going to give you much. So I do get, and as well, you're 2-0 up.
But should you not address the fact you're not getting service into him more than taking your striker off the pitch?
Not for the second half against. Mate, we need a win.
Yeah.
We're 2-0 up against.
You're against 10 men. They're there for the taking. Really, they're to be exploited.
We went down to that. When Sesko went off was when Casemiro got sent off.
Okay.
So at that point, I understand it.
You've got enough attacking options on the pitch still.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what?
Because who else are you going to take off?
And also, they're not creating anything anyway. So what's the difference?
You know what? Yeah, I have to take that back. What I just said because At the end of the day, I've got to look at the bigger picture. At the end of the day, Amrin just needed a win. Yeah. It didn't matter how. Didn't matter how they done it. They just needed to get a win on the board. They needed 3 points. Yeah, and it had to be ugly.
The second half was ugly.
It had to be in order to give him more time. But I'm just thinking, with all what we've been hearing, the meetings behind closed doors with Ratcliffe and everything like that, is this the beginning of the end? Yes. He hasn't got much time.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's ever really started.
Yeah.
This Amorim era has never started. We have not seen back-to-back wins. What is it, since Jan?
No, it's not ever.
Oh, ever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Premier League, the last time he won, the last time that he won 2 games in a month was January.
That was it. Sorry, 2 games in a month.
Ever since then, we've only ever got 1 win a month. Which, to be fair, he might get that this month if we beat Brentford.
Was Burnley last month?
Yes.
Are you playing Brentford home or away now?
Away.
Oh, you lost that one.
Yeah, you know that.
Come on,
it's quite bizarre because I feel like overall maybe your fan base was more confident for this game just because of the record against Chelsea than you would be, for example, with us sitting here next Thursday previewing the Brentford game.
When I saw the lineups, I was concerned. I was really, really concerned because even our lineup, even with the available players we had, I thought he could put out a better side.
Yeah,
personally.
So who would you have changed, personally speaking?
Should we just, before you do that, let me just run through that lineup for anyone who didn't see it. So we have Bayern Deer in goal, De Ligt, Maguire, Shaw, Mazraoui, Dorgu on the other side, Casemiro, Fernandes in the middle, and Mbeumo, Ahmad, and Šeško.
Yeah,
it looks good on paper. It looks good.
Yeah, it's good. But so who would you be taking out? Who would you be putting
what I would have liked to have seen is Bruno go into the 10, Ahmad go to right wing back because I don't like Mazraoui at right wing back, and then one of Agate or Kobe Mainoo in the middle. I just feel like that just gives you a little bit more because then that's an Ahmad out wide, not a Mazraoui out wide.
So you're taking Mazraoui out of the team? Completely.
Not because I don't rate him, because I do. And you know what? I would potentially put Mazraoui right centre back. Put De Ligt.
He actually wasn't too bad there.
No, Mazraoui's good. Mazraoui's good. Mazraoui technically is one of our better players. He's a really consistent good player. I just don't like him high and wide. Because he's not going to give you anything. When we've seen that time and time again. So that's the one thing I would change. But obviously, Robert Sanchez gives us a lifeline there with that sentence.
Absolutely.
I thought you actually, before he even got sent off, I thought that first few minutes you actually looked.
Well, we're basing this on the first 2 minutes of the game. They look good for 2 minutes. They look stagnant.
They didn't have a game. You lot didn't play in the week. You didn't have European football. You had a whole week to prepare.
And in the second half,
and you just about got over the line. But I guess, look, 3 points, take the 3 points. But yeah, I don't know. I can't see.
Nothing's changed for me. For the way I view my club right now, this doesn't change. This doesn't change anything. I'm still concerned. I still think it's the beginning of the end for Ruben Amorim. Don't see how this turns.
Where do you stand in terms of like when that sacking would come? Because I think we all know that the writing is on the wall at some point. I cannot see him lasting the season whatsoever. He's been there nearly a year. We have not seen any type of progress at all. Yeah. This is obviously a Sir Jim Ratcliffe appointment. If it wasn't a Ratcliffe appointment, then I think he would have been long gone. It's not going to probably be international break, because that's going to come around too soon. So at what point, how much worse would it need to be before he goes?
That's the thing. Results will dictate what will happen with him, and also it depends how much patience they really have with him. They said, listen, this is a long-term project. My argument with that is that no long-term project starts like this and becomes successful. It just doesn't happen, in my opinion. Even Arteta, I said this before, even Arteta, it was never this bad for this long. It was like the first 3-4 months that were really, really poor, but even then he finished 8th, right?
We saw progress.
There was progress, right? The thing is, the problem that Man United have got, we spent about 12 to 14 million sacking Erik ten Hag last season. Ashworth, we sacked him 5 million. Ruben Amorim, if we sack him, that's another 12 million. We've already had to, our summer transfer window, we had to borrow more money, basically. It was more debt, basically, put on the club, that transfer window. Financially, it's really tough to go and sack another manager right now. So the ideal scenario is that Amorim can get it together enough just to get us through to the summer, and then he goes.
Maybe he does need, maybe this is just the way that we are as fans and how football culture is, that we want to pack it in very early doors. Because if you think about it, Manchester United, in terms of the squad and where it's at, let's be real, it's a really crap squad overall. And obviously the stuff
we've seen,
but should it be with the money they spent?
No, but it's a progressive thing. They've wasted a lot of money as well over the years with different managers, different playing styles. So for Ruben Amorim to come in, I'm trying to spin this as a positive narrative for you. So for Ruben Amorim to come in, and he's had the January transfer window and he's had the summer. So arguably, it would take more than 2 windows to rectify the damage that has been done since Sir Alex Ferguson left.
Okay, but the thing is, I'm
trying here. I'm really trying.
I think the squad is better than what results show.
Okay.
But the problem for me is that since Erik ten Hag left, we have got significantly worse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that.
Do you wish you wouldn't have sacked him?
No, I think him going wasn't the wrong decision. I think he was on his way out, because I think on a personable level as well, he was just too much was going on between the players. There was too much friction, so he should have went. I just think the Ruben Amorim decision. The thing is, right, Amorim in another light could have been successful, but this squad isn't built for Ruben Amorim right now. It's going to take too long, and you can't go that long not getting results, waiting for another transfer window. So this squad right now is still good enough to be top 6.
Do you think it is? Yes. Do you think it's good enough to be top 6?
They have got some top draw quality players, which is why always the weird thing with Man United. Okay, maybe less so under Ruben Amorim, but there are just weird patches and weird games where you just decide to turn it on under Manchester United. He should be getting a lot more out of these players. They are looking like a bunch of collected individuals. There doesn't seem to be enough cohesion in my opinion. But at the same time, do we need to give him more time? Because at the end of the day, there are certain managers, as you say, that need 2 or 3 transfer windows. They need an extended period of time. If their style of play is so unique to them, some managers are they're great man managers, like Eddie Howe's, that can just come in and they can make any system work. They can do that. And some are so stubborn to their philosophy that they need exact types of players in their positions. And I believe Ruben Amorim is one of those guys. The question is, do you think when he gets all of those players in, that you are going to be at a high enough level?
Also, you're committing to players that fit that formation.
Exactly.
I think that, but the thing is, right, like maybe there's a world where he can get. So for me, some of the most important players in this system are the 2 fullbacks and the 2 central midfielders. But there's just. There is so lit, like when you think about, like, right, who can come in midfield. I think even Declan Rice would struggle in this midfield right now. That's where I think is that's what I genuinely do, like. And there's fundamental problems. Like, for example, right? I'll give you an example of what's wrong with this system, right?
You bring Deckers.
What team? He would. What team progresses the ball not through their midfield but through their fullbacks at every single time? Not like sometimes. I just want a number 6 to dictate play.
Yeah.
I miss that. I want that.
So is that then an oversight from looking at your summer business? So we've got Agate there, you've still got Casemiro there, who actually hasn't been as bad as he was at times, In the summer, should that have been a key area that you strengthened? Did you need to get Mbeumo and Cunha and Šeško? Should you have looked maybe at a centre-back reinforcement? Should you have looked at a 6 to kind of help that?
So centre-back, I think we're fine. But so with the midfield, I don't even think it's necessarily personnel. It's how Ruben Amorim wants to play.
Okay.
He doesn't want to progress the ball through the midfield. He wants to progress it through fullbacks.
Also, I guess you've got Kobe there as well.
Kobe's
there.
So, for example, he's got Dorgu dropping in, for example, to receive the ball, turn and play it either into one of the 10s and one of the midfielders. Dorgu is not at a technical level to drop in, turn, play before someone's on his back. It's the Premier League. It's one of the most intense leagues in the world. I see fundamental issues with how he wants to play football, that no matter how many transfer windows come and go, you're never going to become an elite dominant force in the Premier League, playing how you alluded to it earlier. The only through at the back team that has done really well in the Premier League has been Conte's team.
And you had to look at the personnel that they had. They had Gary Cahill, they had David Luiz, Azpilicueta,
Victor
Moses, Marcus Alonso, and Kante in front. So
and one of the best Premier League players basically ever in Eden Hazard.
Well, that's the trick. You had a midfield.
We're comparing that to what United have got right now.
Yeah, you're comparing it, but I think the major turning point for me personally was when the Bruno Fernandes during the summer transfer window, where he decided that he's going to stay. I think if you had gotten rid of Bruno Fernandes and then brought in, I know you're shaking your head and everyone will say, yeah, but look at the numbers he's bringing. I'm just saying, I just think that's why Man United are also failing, because Amorim is obviously determined to keep Bruno in the squad. Rightfully so, I get it, but I feel there was other areas that wasn't addressed, and that number 6 role is key. It's so key for Amorim. And sometimes you have to get rid. It's the same thing with Ronaldo. Everyone was like, "Oh, you can't get rid of Ronaldo," but it kind of elevated Man United, or you had to. They grew from it.
I do think that they would be worse if they didn't have Fernandes. I think the problem is that just play Fernandes in his position, and you actually would be okay, or just don't have a back three.
But then you need to address other positions, because I think you hit the nail on the head when you mentioned N'Golo Kante, the guy who could play the role of 2 midfielders. When you're playing a 2-man midfield like that, and you've got aging Casemiro, you talk about his red cards. I think a lot of that is to do with the pace of the Premier League and the fact that he's getting so much leggier. He doesn't have the energy to manoeuvre the same way he did.
But he was getting leggier 2
and Bruno Fernandes, who is not a deep-lying midfield player. So you got 2 players that are not covering the correct position in there.
Who does that come back to?
Well, it comes back to the recruitment, number one. Under Ruben Amorim, as you said, they're not addressing the key areas he wants. And number 2, squad selection, because you've got Kobe Mainu there who can fill that role very well.
It will lead back to the manager
on
this one.
Come back to the manager, but also to the board, Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, because you looked at this squad. You should have looked at it and thought, we are not. This squad is not prepped for a 3 at the back, 2 in midfield. It's such a fundamental issue. The 2 in midfield, especially, is such a fundamental issue. And as well, when Jason Wilcox came to Man United, he said, "We want a game model." How did you then figure out that game model as Man United is to not have wingers? You know what I said to my mate earlier? I said to him, Paul Scholes wouldn't have a place in this Man United team.
No.
Do you know how ludicrous that is? That a good deep line playmaking midfielder wouldn't have Zubimendi wouldn't have a place in this team. That is a fundamental issue for me. Like when I look at the best teams in the world right now, PSG,
even Barcelona the other day,
Pedri, Coutinho, like the ball playing midfielders. I want a ball playing midfielder. I don't want this whole ignore the midfield and progress the ball through the fullbacks. What is that?
When was the last time you lot have had a midfield like that, though? I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, that's another issue. That's
another question.
Could do that. Could do that if a 3-man midfield existed in this team. He could do it. You can't do it in a 2-man midfield.
Crazy.
But it's funny. We're all talking as if like Man United have lost.
No,
They've
have
just
won.
gone and beaten Chelsea. They've gone and beaten Chelsea. So my point to that is,
we're going to switch to Chelsea.
Do we not have to start asking some questions about Enzo Maresca?
We absolutely need to ask some questions about Chelsea. By the way, Fulham and Brentford has just kicked off. We are keeping an eye on that as well. Yes. You segued it so nicely for me, James. On to Chelsea. Look, Chelsea, we don't need to keep going over it. They've spent over £1 billion. Yes, they've improved, but I think the hard part for me personally when it comes to Chelsea is that growing up, you think of the iconic Chelsea sides that dominated everything, and just I still do because they always beat us. But like whenever I used to have that fixture or look at a Chelsea side, whoever they were playing, it would literally strike the fear of God into me. Like we're talking about the Drogbas, the Anelkas, the Essians, the Mikkels, John Terry's, Coles, like big aura, big man aura, right? And I look at Chelsea and I just think,
little boys,
they'll probably still beat Spurs. I'm going on record now. You can clip it up. I'm sure they will beat us. Okay, but I still look at them and I just think, what is this Chelsea? Like what? Like you spent a lot of money, but on what? You don't strike fear into. I don't think there's any. Who's scared of Chelsea?
Lack of experience throughout the squad. Really. A bunch of inexperienced players learning on the job almost.
Yeah, if anything, learning on the job. And I think I pointed out a few weeks ago where I questioned. I think I did say Chelsea would do okay this season, but their main issue is the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez, and then also their centre backs. I said that core is what's worrying me. Caicedo, Enzo, okay, that's fine. João Pedro, we've spoken about Esteval, but I just think at the back they're very, very weak.
They still don't have that A side centre back, do they? That leader. When you look over the years, you've always had the great partnerships over the years at Chelsea.
And everything, like you said,
but they still don't have that. I think Matisse was saying it the other day in terms of someone like a Colwill. I guess maybe they were trying to get him to that level. Fofana has been injured for such a long time, but it's still they've still got Disasi there.
He's exiled out of the squad.
They can't get. They can't get rid of some of these players in essence, but. I want to just talk obviously about the other night in terms of the pattern, because we've seen mistakes, and Cole Palmer was very good the other night against Bayern, and you have a look and they kind of led to their own downfall in that game, and obviously Harry Kane is inevitable and always will be.
It's fantastic,
amazing player.
I can say it now. He's left.
Thank you. Anyone who doesn't give their flowers to him still is a crazy.
Didn't he score a hat trick today as well?
I don't even know what he did.
He scored. It's ridiculous.
He started the season on
goal machine.
Yeah. He never did.
2 penalties though.
My goodness me.
2 penalties.
He's still got to convert them, mate.
Absolutely, got to convert them. But yes, back to Chelsea. So we have a look at Wednesday night or whenever it was, Tuesday or Wednesday night, and the mistakes that they made today. As soon as we kick off, 3 minutes in, you see Robert Sanchez just having an absolute howler, stinker, off he goes. And essentially, you're kind of leading to your own downfall. And this is someone in Robert Sanchez that it's not his first time in the Premier League. He's been around the block.
Yeah.
So is it a case, do we need to not put so much focus on Enzo Maresca and look really at the players and their mentality and them bringing themselves up to a level where they're not continuously making mistakes?
No, because at the end of the day, Robert... To a certain extent, yes, because you cannot legislate for Robert Sanchez doing what he did, and it's very stupid. And you see certain times with Chelsea, as you say, because of their inexperience, there is games like the Club World Cup final where they look like the real outfit, taking the game to PSG, dominating them. There's other games where they look so inexperienced and almost out of ideas in a ways that you can only put that down to the players. But at the end of the day, your job as a manager is to get these inexperienced players up week in, week out for every single game. And when you've got your goalkeeper, yes, he makes a stupid mistake in getting himself sent off. But when you then absolutely strip any confidence out of your team by taking two of your best attacking players out, even though maybe Cole Palmer has this injury, he should be the first one out. You start tinkering the formation around, bringing more defenders in. That is taking any quality out of your attack, any fear out of your game. It's also not instilling any confidence in your other defenders that you've set up there originally by bringing more in. Then you take Cole Palmer off. You have absolutely nothing going forward because you're trying to set up shop against a side who are very gettable, as we said. And then he starts tinkering the formation 2 or 3 times in the game. It's like the guy thought there was roll-on, roll-off subs or something in this game. The way he was tinkering left, right and centre, you're never able to actually build a sustained flow or period within the game because nobody knows what's going on in there. So yes, you can blame the players, but at the end of the day, that comes down to the manager, and they have spent an awful lot on players similar to Man United and have some real top quality players. Yes, they're inexperienced. Yes, they're young. But some of the players in there, Esteval, I think, is going to turn into a real world beater. Cole Palmer, one of the best players in the Premier League right now. Pedro Neto, not exactly a slouch himself. João Pedro has been a man reborn over the past year and a half almost. He's absolutely phenomenal. You have top draw players, and Maresca should be getting more on a consistent basis out of these guys, I believe.
Do you feel... I feel like he hasn't got faith in these players. I feel like he doesn't trust these players, and that's why we saw him tinkering, as you're saying. He was tinkering the side throughout the game, throughout the first and the second half. I just feel like Maresca's still trying to figure out certain players, and he's trying to see he's actually willing to step up a certain level. And obviously he's got faith in his, the integral players, your Caicedos, your Jameses, Cole Palmers. But I feel like with the other fringe players, he's still not convinced with it. And that's why for me, I just saw a turning point in not in his career, but just in the sense of how the season's going to be, because he could have gone forward and took a risk. But I feel like he didn't want to take a risk against Man United.
In the third minute.
In the third minute.
minute.
Have some faith in your players, I feel. And that's what it kind of takes me aback now. And then, you base it on their performance in Bayern Munich as well, against Bayern Munich in the week. They made a lot of mistakes. So they have a lapse in concentration defensively. Cucurella is someone I hate him to play against because he's a nightmare, but this week hasn't been the best week for him, maybe defensively alongside some other players. But that goalkeeper area is an area that's always going to be...
How many keepers can they go through?
Yeah, it's going to be...
Do you mean Donald Trump thinks that's the best goalkeeper that's ever graced the game, mate?
Thing is, though, with Chelsea, right, and this is something that I actually put my hands up and I say fair play, right, because their whole transfer strategy, right, I actually think that I understand it from a financial point of view.
Oh, yeah.
It's working, right? It's fruitful. They're selling players. They're buying them cheap. They're selling them
basically,
it works,
it's essentially flipping houses with people.
Yeah, it's money.
That's what they're doing. It's money laundering.
It's
what they're doing.
Because when it first came into effect, we all laughed and we said, "What are you doing?" We can actually see the fruits of that labour now. But the problem with that is that you're not then, because they're targeting like 23 and under players, basically. They're not bringing experience into the side. One thing I would say about Chelsea, I think that their trajectory is good. If you see the progress since Enzo Maresca's come in, you could see it towards the end of Poch as well. They were building from then. The thing is with Chelsea, right? Caicedo, I genuinely think, I'll put this out there from now, by the time he's done in Premier League, if he stays for as long as he wants, he will go down as a Premier League all-time. I genuinely believe that his ceiling is amazingly high. I think we'll talk about, when we talk about him and Declan Rice, I understand it's a debate right now. I think he's got 3 or 4 years on Declan Rice. So I think that's something to think about. I think he's actually insane. Enzo is very hot and cold.
Yeah, great.
Some games he's very good, some games he's not really on it. Cole Palmer, generational talent. So there's things to build on there. But like you guys just alluded to there, it's criminal that they've gone into another season, Robert Sanchez. You have to address that. You spend all this money, go and get... I think, who was it saying about Mike Maignan before the show?
Yeah.
Abby.
Was it me?
Or Quams?
I think so,
talking about Mike Maignan.
Yeah.
Go and get him. You should have gone and got him in the summer.
Also, the
Donnarumma.
striker situation as well is another... It's a bit of a baffling one as well, because I know that they love to go with different types of attacking players, but again, still, when I look at what they've got, okay, João Pedro, yes, great signing, whatever. But then you have a look at the deep bit of the squad, or who was on the bench today, and you've got Gu, who okay. Yeah. And then they've gone and signed Garnacho, who arguably we all wanted to see today.
Yeah, you definitely wanted to
I was literally crying out, why is Garnacho not coming on? Because they were looking ropey, United.
This was a game for Garnacho to come on.
It was the game. It was the moment. We needed that moment, and we were robbed of the moment. But still, I still think in that transfer window, that is an area they haven't been happy with. It's not been particularly fruitful. Yeah. And the whole Nicholas Jackson saga, go and get yourself a striker.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to them, you weren't expecting Delap to get injured so earlier on in the season as they did. That's definitely because then they had two styles of strikers, João Pedro and Delap, very different kind of players. Delap a bit more of a flat track bully, you could say, a bit more of a physical presence. So they have been hamstrung in that, and they had to bring Gui back as a result of that. But yeah, as you said, man, I don't mind João Pedro as a striker.
I like João Pedro.
He's good. He's very good.
But the problem is getting the ball around him, getting the ball to him, and that's where the problem came for me today. As I said, why would you not bring Garnacho in, who can actually, as you said, take a couple of players on and get the ball to him? You bring George on instead to sit next to him and just soak up the oxygen within the room.
That one was very
I'm not convinced of George. Sorry, George.
Yeah. The one thing as well, though, I will say about this Chelsea side is a little bit like Arsenal, they can grow together. That's the one thing you have to say. Sort of as they get older, like Colwell, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, they're still in their early 20s. By the time they hit their peak, and if they've been at Chelsea side for a while,
will they still be there? That's the thing. My thing was actually Cole Palmer in particular. I know they're on big contracts and things like that, but at the end of the day, Cole Palmer will want to win things at some point. I know they won the Club World Cup, whatever, but let's be honest. At some point, he'll want to win things, just the same way he didn't want to stay at City and fight for his place because he was too good to sit there and do that, and he wanted another challenge. Cole Palmer strikes me as the type of person that if he's not reaping the rewards of winning trophies, which is arguably what Chelsea has been built on, why players always went there, because you win things pretty instant with every type of manager throughout every single through all those decades of my childhood, all of us growing up, that was Chelsea. So if that's a different Chelsea now, and Chelsea don't become that team that goes on and does those things, whether it's Champions Leagues or Premier Leagues, etc., then there will be an argument that Cole Palmer will be snapped up.
Yeah, but where would he go?
I think Cole Palmer could go anywhere.
Because in my head, I'm just thinking, Real Madrid? Could he go Real Madrid?
No, I don't know. I couldn't see that. There's something about it. I just couldn't see that.
He'd have to be abroad somewhere. You couldn't see him being sold to another Premier League club with the money they'd be demanding, right?
Oh, the money they'd be demanding.
But also, like, the thing is with Premier League right now is that, like, it almost has become the Super League in a sense.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of the players, once they end up at a top 6, I feel like they'll mostly stay there, unless they're super young, like a Garnacho was, for example.
Yeah.
But I feel like once they become established in that top 6 side, it's a little bit tricky to get them out of there.
Cole Palmer's 23. Do I think that Cole Palmer will be there at 26? I'd be surprised.
I think he will.
I'd be surprised. Let's make a bet.
Let's
make a bet. He won't be there at 26.
3 years time.
Clip this and we'll check back in 3 years time.
He'll still be there.
So you have no faith in them winning anything major between now
I
and
think in terms of at the moment, when I compare when I look at what's around them, when I look at Liverpool, we're talking about the Prem here. When I look at Liverpool, Arsenal and City in terms of their rebuild, I don't think that their squad, I don't think they're anywhere near it. Do I think Enzo Maresca will be there in another 3 years? No.
That's the one I'd say. So, I don't think he would be. I agree with you on that.
I think he's all right.
He's okay.
That's what I mean.
He's okay.
But my thing is, like, he's a young manager. They got a young squad. I don't doubt that they can actually grow together and become competitive together, because for the age of their squad, they're doing okay. They're doing all right. They finished 4th last season. Listen, Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, very, very good sides.
Maybe I just need to lower my expectation of Chelsea, because it's not the same Chelsea anymore.
It's not the same Chelsea, that's the thing. And it's not even the Tuchel Chelsea.
No.
He was a world-class manager, and also Tuchel was like, can get a lot out for a short period. He was never going to make a project last, for example. And
also Chelsea were never really a project club. So maybe it's just a different way of looking at it.
Maybe they can.
Yeah.
This game is still 0-0, by the way. Yeah. Has anyone been keeping an eye on it?
A little bit.
What's been going on? I haven't.
A few chances here and there.
Yeah, a few chances for Fulham. They've had about a good 5 minutes of sustained pressure now, have Fulham. After Harry Wilson actually just whistling a shot past the post. Bit of a bitter one. Yeah, we couldn't even get Harry Wilson. You speaking of whistle blowing, mate, they snaked him away from us last second. That just goes to show you the diabolical state my club are in. Fulham building into the game, but nothing too big of note to talk about so far. But it was a big corner whipped in there.
It's quite a nice London derby, isn't it? It's not
a
fiery.
Realistically, it's probably not really an 8 o'clock kickoff, is it? Like on a Saturday night, it's not.
Well, that's the thing. You've got all the adrenaline from the other game, so everyone's probably quite tired.
Everyone's going out for dinner now. No one's staying in and getting a takeaway for this. Shall we talk about Leeds then? I feel like we should really be talking about Liverpool and Everton, but I feel like because you just started the chat talking about Leeds, then let's take it away. You did mention before that all of your goals have come today.
Right, pretty much. All our open play have come today. Yeah.
We did see a beautiful free kick as well. I can only go off the highlights. Did you watch a game?
Oh yeah. I was streaming the game, of course, and it was a bit of a papering over the cracks. You may see Leeds United 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, and you're thinking, okay, Leeds United back were actually scoring goals, because before that, we had 4 games and 0 open play goals, including against Fulham, who got a lucky own goal in the last minute to get back in the game. But you still watch this game, and there is absolutely no creativity. It's like a blank page of A4 paper at times there. You got no actual build-up play, no link-up play. It's not like we were creating bucket loads of chances and missing one-on-ones and all of that kind of good stuff when you see a 3-1 scoreline. What in reality happened, it was the same thing we always do. A lot of passive possession, no real ability to break through into the final third against a very weak Wolves side, let's be honest. The Wolves side that are there for the taking, that even managed to peg one back against us because of our own skid mark defending in there. And then you get one basic...
You think they'd lost?
But I mean, it was terrible defending. Listen, I'm very happy with the win. But in reality, it was a 10-minute spell. It was a 10-minute spell where you get a beautiful 30-yard picture from Jayden Bogle, little deflection on it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin creates a goal out of nothing. Beautiful header. Then you get Anton Stach rifling in a free kick from...
Beautiful free kick.
Beautiful free kick. Anton Stach, who's one of the best signings that we've made in years, to be honest with you, rifles that top corner. And then 5 minutes after that, they're still showing a replay. Next thing you know, their defenders passed it straight to Stach. He's passed it through to Okafor. Instant counter-attack, and it's 3-1. So it was just a 10-minute spell. And yes, I'm very happy, and I can think.
You sound elated.
I'm very happy that we are now back into the top half of the table. Yeah. We've scored 3 goals, but I still think there's underlying issues there. I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, Leeds United are back, because at the end of the day, for the rest of the game, we still looked really unable to create things. Yes, I can hope that can instill confidence into these players, the likes of Okafor and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Hopefully that can encourage them and incentivize them to go forward. But at the end of the day, we still have Brendan Aronson, who was deemed not good enough in his natural number 10 position, playing in right wing. We still have a complete formation change of a 4-3-3. Tanaka on the bench for some reason. No creativity at all. No backup players. Nonto and Dan James out. Our attack has actually got almost worse than it was last year in the Championship, which is really something that you need to look at. And we got not a lucky, but a good quality 10-minute spell. But you're not going to have Anton Stach rifling free kicks in every week. You're not going to have...
I'd hate to see what you're like after a loss.
Mate, I'll tell you this. We were 3-0 up in the first half, and we had a 0.48 XG. So that will tell you the papering beyond the cracks.
I get what you mean, but like you said, you got to take the positives. Calvert-Lewin, I remember, was it in the Carabao Cup? Was it last month? And he missed an open goal. He missed a sitter. And then he missed a penalty.
It was against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, yeah. So it's players like him, you need to instill confidence. So I think a goal for him today was fantastic. He needs that. Leeds need that. Yeah, all right, cool. You're not going to score worldies in terms of free kicks from Stach all the time. But I think games or moments win you games, and if it is 10 minutes, 5 minutes, at least you lot have managed to do well. If you compare that to what Wolves are going through right now, you lot are far better. You look like odds on to do a lot more better in the Premier League.
Whether or not you stay up is a different thing, but also these are the type of games you need to win. Like these are the like, let's be honest, you might fluke a result maybe against Spurs or someone like that. Like,
but that wouldn't be a fluke. That would be a given.
As in, oh wow. But anyway, like what I'm saying is when you're playing, you know, the clubs that are obviously, I don't want to say bigger club because these are bigger club, like it's a big club, but like the bigger Premier League clubs.
Yeah, the more established.
You know, so when you're playing the likes of a Wolves who are rock bottom, or you're playing a West Ham, or you're playing a Burnley, or I don't know, like a ball, like I don't even want to put Bournemouth.
Or even Everton, who we beat. Everton, who we beat. Yeah, listen.
Goal, by the way. Brentford have gone 1-0 up.
Damsgaard. Damsgaard's tight there. I like him.
It's like since Norgard left, Damsgaard's stepping up.
No, you should be winning these games, yes, and I'm happy we beat Everton. Again, lucky, a fortuitous penalty that got us here. Yeah, so when you look at it in that sense, you know, 5 games in, we've played Arsenal, we played Newcastle, and we got 2 wins and a draw. Could have easily been 2 wins and 2 draws if we didn't score a last-minute own goal against Fulham. So from that aspect, yes, it's very positive, but it's not sustainable. We have too many injuries. We're not playing an expansive style of football in the slightest. We're not creating anything on a week-in, week-out basis. We should, with some of the players we have, especially our midfield, we should be performing a lot better in these games. And for me, I'm always I'm a Bielsa man, right? Yeah. So I'm performances over results. Because I think over a whole season, a whole league campaign, eventually your performances will turn into results. There's a lot of managers that put up shaky performances. They get a few lucky results here and there, and it papers over the cracks, and eventually it tells. Which is why I always think the fundamentals of your performance
doesn't sound like
you don't have faith.
I was going to say, you don't sound like you.
But at the same time, I don't blame Daniel Farke, because he came out multiple times and said, bring me attacking acquisitions, bring me attacking acquisitions. The 49ers said to him, we're going to bring you attacking acquisitions. What did they do? They brought nobody in. They couldn't even get Harry Wilson in on deadline day. That is when you know it's tragic. Going for some of the other top players who are going for, fine, get rejected by them. Harry Wilson. You're telling me you couldn't even get that deal done on deadline day? That is when you know you've got some serious pulling power issues going on.
Fulham over Leeds.
No disrespect. Fulham's nice place to
can't get off it,
on the river, in London. It's a nice club.
Do you reckon you stay up?
I hope so. Yeah, I do think we'll stay up. I think we need a big January transfer window, though. We need some attackers, big time.
I'm looking at their games. You got Bournemouth next at home. Then you got Spurs at home.
Yeah, a couple
Burnley
of
away. West Ham. So I can see you lot getting some points, picking up some points, especially against Spurs. So it's
no, but as I said, I think
probably will, to be honest with you.
No, I think you lot will be all right.
Well, defensively we're okay, and in the midfield, I think we're really, really strong in the midfield, and games are won and lost in the midfield. That's why we're doing all right. we just can't create anything.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens in the next few weeks. Guys, please do smash the like button. Please send in your super chats as well, because we want to hear from you. What did you enjoy about the games today? Tell us what you didn't like as well. We like that. We love it when you don't like things. We have got a few super chats. Jamie M says, don't let Matisse run away from Monday's show. He wanted KG on the show as Flex won't be there. Well, I guess you need to grant him his wish. Well, I don't know where KG is, but he will be held accountable, Matisse. Don't you
I'll be on to him.
worry.
I'll be there.
He was giving it. I actually feel sorry for Flex because he's not here on Monday, and obviously he doesn't really get to celebrate anything at the moment. So I'm sure there'll be a FaceTime. I'm sure there'll be a video, a FaceTime, something. So make sure you are with us on Monday morning. KC2K16 says get Iraola in. That was about United. Enough of this Shamarin crap. I really like Iraola, to be honest with you. He was actually one that I was looking at for Spurs, and I thought would have fit really nicely. So let's say he does pack it in at some point.
It's attractive attacking. It's very direct football. I think if he was coming to United, it would need to be a little bit more sustained pressure. I feel like sometimes at Bournemouth it is a little bit too rock and roll. But he's the manager that I want. He's at the very top of my list, and he's also at a young age as well. And he also comes from, I think he's from the same area as Arteta.
Yes.
I want to say Xavi as well. There's like one small area of Spain where there's like a bunch of like Spanish managers. That's right. But I definitely want Iraola. Yeah.
Okay. Eagle-eyed Football says up to 4th and 17 unbeaten. It won't get the coverage though. That's obviously about Crystal Palace. We are going to talk about Palace. Yeah. We will circle back to Palace though. We were talking about Palace before, weren't we? Before the show, and we were giving them all the flowers. So we will get into them. But I want to talk about the early kickoff today, which was Liverpool, Everton, the Merseyside derby, and I mean, Gravenberch's goal was just ridiculous.
It was delightful. It was delightful. He just seems like
he's a great player.
He's a regen. What do they say? A regen. He's evolved his game, but that goal there to execute it, coming over your shoulder, the technique is unreal. Oh mate, it's really really good. But he's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal in the week. He's been one of Arne Slot's probably standout players in the sense of since Slot has come in, he's stood out. Leaps and bounds, but he just has everything in his game. Calmness on the ball, he's able to obviously get in between players, can play a pass, the movement, his understanding. He's really really good midfielder.
Just so good, so good.
The thing is with Gravenberch as well, you can he can play anywhere in the midfield. You can literally play, and that's what a large part of what I liked from Liverpool today was actually their midfield. I feel like Wirtz, while he's a talented player. Let's talk about Wirtz. He's a very talented.
Talk about him.
It's not clicking yet, but he's a talented player. But I feel like he will eventually become essentially a left winger for Liverpool, because I think the midfield three of McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch is too good.
Szoboszlai is a joke as well.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, but you know what, Szoboszlai though, I will also say there are some games where he goes quiet. There are some games, definitely some games where he goes quiet. But when he's on it, he's unreal.
I don't think he goes quiet, but I think he can sometimes have those magic moments.
Definitely, like the free kick against Arsenal.
The
only thing I want to say about that game though as well, the Liverpool game today, the second half, I did think Everton got back into it really well. They started playing really well. Iliman Ndiaye and Jack Grealish for Everton were both really, really good. Ndiaye especially, there's some little moments of Ndiaye where he just looks really special.
He is.
So
Everton looks so much better than they did last season. Gosh.
Great David Moyes, man. What a manager. What a manager.
He's a great manager. I think, bring it back to, I think Grealish is probably the biggest threat for them. It was a great ball as well to lead for the goal as well, for Everton's goal with his left foot. But I think you saw still a few defensive frailties with Liverpool where they can get at. It was Conor Bradley at right back. But look, Liverpool, they just seem to grind out these results, and it's a sign of true champions.
It is a sign of
champions. It's annoying because they're annoyingly good, and the thing is even though everyone might have an off day, you got Van Dijk there, and this is what I keep saying.
Honestly, after the other night, because even the Newcastle game, right, a few weeks ago, they pulled that back, right? The other night, you just have to look at someone like Van Dijk, and you just go, you are just inevitable, bro. Like, you are so clutch. You are, and I feel
he's
like
the best of the best, isn't he?
Like, where do you reckon then? Okay, this is going to be an endless debate because some people have different opinions. But when you are looking at Premier League greats, where does Virgil stand?
He's at the top. He's at the top.
In terms of all-time Premier League centre-back.
All time. Like, where do you put him in the Premier League era? Where do you put him?
He's the best. He's the best. He has everything.
Terry,
He's got the defensive capabilities.
He's got.
For me, he's third or fourth right now. But by the time he retires, he might be higher. But for now, for me, he's third or fourth.
For me, as a player, as a defensive player, he just has everything in his locker. He's got the defensive capabilities of a John Terry. He's got the calmness of a Rio Ferdinand. He's phenomenal in the air. He doesn't seem to break a sweat. His hair's always slick.
It's the gel.
It's the gel, yeah. Obviously, it's the gel.
Everyone says he smells good all the time.
Yeah. But most professionals, they do. But no, he's just... You never see him worried. You never see him out of rhythm. He's come back from a big injury and he's still putting out like 9 out of 10 performances. He rarely has a bad game.
There was a dodgy pass back to Alisson
that was
today.
late.
It was just one pass.
One dodgy pass back. One dodgy pass.
I take a point though. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but the only thing. So when people compare Van Dijk to the likes of Terry, to the likes of Rio, the only my caveat is
they talk about the titles.
No, not the titles, but in terms of Rio was doing it from like 20. John Terry was doing it from 21, 22. Like Van Dijk was still at Southampton at 27. And don't get me wrong, Van Dijk's had the longevity there because he's late into his mid 30s now. He's still going strong. But those players had the early parts of the career that Van Dijk didn't. So that's my argument where I go, I don't know, because they had it for quite some time.
But then the fact he's still doing this, these kind of performances at the age he's at. He's 34 years of age. Sorry.
Yeah.
And yes, I think he's actually slowing down a little bit now, which is why I think they really needed that Mark Gahey signing as backup for Liverpool, really, because you see in a couple of games, including the Palace game, where he was actually caught out for pace a little bit in there. But the way he adapts his game as a result of that and the calmness, for me, I would put him number one. I mean, as a standout season, yes, I'm slightly younger. I still saw a lot of John Terry and Nemanja Vidic growing up and the fear they were put in, but it's just the overall class, as you say, of Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Everything he can do. I mean, the guy was playing in the forward lines when he was younger as well, ripping free kicks top corner. The guy can literally do it all across the pitch. And he also was instrumental in changing a side in Liverpool. He was really a big part of that changing of the guards from a team that wasn't really winning anything. They were the nearly men. He was a huge part in transforming
him and
that.
Alisson together.
Him and Alisson, but I mean, especially him though, because defensively in the centre-back position, they always had big problems there.
Yeah.
Whether it was Lovren or whoever else they had there, you put Van Dijk in there, and he completely.
He's a leader. He's a true-born leader. And
I think we saw that the most when they had that cup final against Chelsea. Like when you saw him literally coach kids. To win that trophy. So it was
Chelsea though, man. I swear to God, Chelsea. Every time they went up against Liverpool at Wembley, it was L's.
It was always.
And they're always boring games. Nil-nils, pens.
If they weren't going to win that one, they're probably never going to.
A lot of Kepa masterclasses.
Oh, we've had some moments.
I was just going to ask as well, back on the game as well, with Ekitike. Ekitike is obviously, he scored, 4?
3 or 4?
3 and 5 games or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a good start,
Alexander Isak hasn't really. I know people are saying he's not fit yet, but who would have thought Ekitike would be scoring this amount of goals? If you said, okay, Liverpool going to bring in Ekitike and Isak, you would have said, yeah, Isak's going to hit the ground running.
I think it's quite soon though to go on the Alexander Isak thing though, because you have to forget he barely had any pre-season. We have seen him feature a little bit, but
he's only had one start.
He hasn't. He's had one. Yeah, he's had one.
He still looks. He's got it though to me.
He's not lost anything over the summer, but it's just getting that fitness and also coming into a new side and just adapting to it.
But that's his fault, mate. He's the one that decided not to have a pre-season. He's the one that decided to do what he did. So he should be judged just as harshly. He should not be given the slack of not having a pre-season because he decided to do that himself.
Yeah, but
and Ekitike, I think it's a little bit of overkill signing both of them personally, because I think Ekitike is an Isak regen. He doesn't have the full-on. He's very composed. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Isak is like ice cold level of composure. He will not miss for you. But Ekitike, man. The pace, the quality, the flair coming off the left. This guy has got absolutely everything. And I, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would not want this guy displaced out of the side when Isak does come in, because he will inevitably get more game time. But I think when you said you were talking about, I forgot who said being pushed out onto the left-hand side. Verts. I think it's more likely Ekitike gets pushed out into that left side position where Gakpo's playing.
Yeah, I thought that.
Because you can't not have Ekitike in the side.
But you also you can't justify having a 120 odd million pound player.
Yeah,
on the
Wirtz
bench.
has
but
to get in
Ekitike was 80
I
odd
want
million.
to talk about him.
No, but Slot.
I want to talk about him soon.
116 million.
Thank you.
It's only a 20-30 million difference.
Oh, it's only 20
No,
million.
like you said, they have to be judged.
You cannot justify that. The Wirtz thing, look, it's a new league. It's adapting to
I'm not
a new
hearing
thing.
it. I'm not hearing it.
It can take time. However, look, we are going to have to start talking about it. And I know that Liverpool fans are very protective of their players, right?
007.
I know AGC will
007.
sit here like he did the other day when I asked him the same question. He said, he was good. He was good. Well, I don't think he was very good. Like, there might be a few moments of it, but you've got to start seeing a return on your investment. We are 5 games in now.
Yeah.
We need to start seeing it. The 007 is getting ever
Including
closer.
the Champions League games. Yeah, 007 people. With the price tag and the fact that he completed his pre-season, he was fine. There's no issues. For me, I'm expecting more. And like I said, I judge it based on all of the other players that have been that have cost 100 mil plus. You should be brushed with painted with the same brush. Yeah, it's high standards for me. And for me, Wirtz, I don't question his ability, but I have questioned him so far since he started at Liverpool. And yeah, Liverpool fans, you can shoot me down.
They will.
That's fine.
I have no doubt.
But like I said, I look at Declan Rice. As soon as Declan Rice arrived at Arsenal, for example, he hasn't put in a poor performance. He's looked like he's been 100 or 150 plus player. I want to see the same for Wirtz.
You lot was trying to say, we'll give you more money.
Yeah. We'll give him more.
base,
It was a bargain for what we got him. But I just feel like, as you said, he's sitting on the bench. He comes on, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, what can you do? What kind of what are you going to string together? What kind of passes? He didn't really give me much of a threat. I think Isaac came on and he seemed a bit more. I think he put a through ball to Salah, but he was just offside. Even Isaac showed me more in less time. But Wirtz, I just don't like the fact that people are just kind of just skating around and they just give, he's alright, he hasn't settled in yet.
He's making the runs, that little graphic.
Yeah. How many runs?
That's unreal.
How many runs?
The thing that's quite ironic is that Ekitike is probably a closer comparison because he's come from the Bundesliga and he's got going straight away. Granted, yes, striker position, not in the 10. I do think there are games where while Wirtz shows promise, he looks lost a little bit in that number 10, and Liverpool haven't really had a number 10 basically since before Klopp. So perhaps they don't quite know how to cater to that number 10. Yeah. I think in today's game against Everton, he went for a more industrial sort of midfield, a bit more functional, which I think made sense. I do think though, because I do genuinely think that Wirtz will be pushed out left, because I did think Arne Slot said that he doesn't see Ekitike as that left winger. So if Wirtz does go left wing, I can see him getting a bit more joy in that left wing, because for Xabi Alonso, he played in that sort of left 10, and in possession he can sort of drift into that number 10 in the same way where Eze will go into that number 10, left 10 sort of position for Arsenal. I can see Wirtz doing the same for Liverpool, and I do think we'll see some joy from him then. But the hard thing right now is that we're talking about a £115 million player not doing well, and Liverpool are still winning.
We should not take that away from Liverpool, because they did win again.
Yeah,
big
they
game,
got the result.
Merseyside derby, got the result, and like you said before, Quam's like, if you're grinding out results, and we haven't even seen Liverpool hit their best at the moment. We haven't even seen them come anywhere near to the levels that we know that they can be at. So all credit to them, because they are showing signs that the Liverpool era ain't going anywhere.
No, it's not. I think I listened to Slot after the game, and he did mention about Ekitike. He said every good quality Premier League team has 2 strikers, so that's why they obviously invested in Ekitike and Isaac. So he said, look, at the end of the day, they're going to be competing against each other, but he doesn't feel like it's an overkill. Obviously, phrasing what you said, bringing him in, I think he's done very well. He's probably been my standout player for Liverpool. Ekitike, he's got everything, as you said, the pace, the finish. It's very calm in goal, but he's young and he's hungry, and you can see it. So
Okay, right. So there was other games on today, of course. There was Burnley 1, Forest 1. Ange Ball still 0 wins. We can 007 on Ange Ball, actually. We can. Again, that's one that we'll be keeping an eye on. I mean, I said it the other day on Thursday, but the Marinakis-Ange relationship, this is, for me, marriage made in absolute hell.
Yeah. It will explode.
This is going to explode. This is going to end in tears. It's going to burn hot and fast.
Married at first sight.
Literally. That is getting getting old. West Ham, they lost again. They are so crap, honestly. Crystal Palace, they are up to 4th, as the Super Chat said earlier, and we do have to give quickly just
Crystal Palace, the flowers.
They have to give them the flowers. And I know that we were talking before about it, that maybe Oliver Glasner doesn't necessarily light up a room in the way that they play, but I mean, he gets the job done. He's been successful at Frankfurt. He's been really successful at Palace. You know, Palace winning anything like that is huge. And he's turned them into, they're a good side, Crystal Palace. And you have to look at the fact that they've lost Eze, they don't have Elise anymore, they don't, you know, the Mark Gay situation. Like I really rate Oliver Glasner, I really do, as a manager.
I think he's fantastic, and to be honest, I was in Stratford earlier and I saw a lot of the Crystal Palace boys. They looked very calm before the game, but I looked at the goals as well. Mateta, he was there, right place, right time. I think because they've been able to keep Mateta. And then Mitchell scored a really good goal as well.
Mateta's grown so much.
He has. Well. He's actually. I don't know why a lot of other teams didn't go in for Mateta because he's got everything in terms of a striker. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's got that physical presence. He can get in behind the man. He can finish. He's a nuisance, an absolute nuisance. So, Crystal Palace, I wasn't surprised. I did favour them to win today. It's just West Ham, Potter. I don't know what's going on with West Ham. I don't know what's going on with you.
It's so nice. It's so nice for me to watch the Spurs, man. I cannot wait. Send them down where they belong.
I just feel sorry for Bowen, though. Bowen, man, come on.
It's all right. Come Spurs.
He's getting his money. He's got his European trophy. I'm pretty sure he's
man.
He's
fine. He's young enough to still make another move after this.
Make another living, another job. They're already saying about Graham Potter. They're already looking at other candidates. He was asked.
Fulham equaliser.
Nice. 1-0.
Fulham equaliser. Iwobi, sorry.
Iwobi.
No, I like Iwobi as well. Obviously, since he left.
Same thing with Harry Kane.
He's really grown on
Same
me.
as me
He's
with
a likeable guy.
I quite liked him at Arsenal as well, to be fair.
He was alright,
he's one of those guys where it looked like he didn't know what he was going to do. So how the heck could the defender know what he was going to do?
I never knew what he was going to do, mate. Trust me.
Fair. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about Palace and
Yes,
Potter,
I was. They have already been looking at other candidates. Nuno is one that they're already including in that. Slaven Bilic, that'll be another return. I feel like they just, when all else fails, just go back to Bilic. Like that is West Ham's way. They're realistically, he could be gone before the next international break. I would not be surprised.
The thing is, like I said this before, and I just think Graham Potter at West Ham, it doesn't even match up. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't like Nuno. That makes sense to me at West Ham. It's functional. It's sort of very direct. It's happy to sit back behind the ball. That's fine. Like I feel like that's what West Ham is a little bit about. It's not Graham Potter.
I love this happening to West Ham, not just because I'm a Spurs fan, right, but because I hated the disrespect they gave to David Moyes. Hated it. Could not bear it because you're West Ham. Like you was achieving stuff. Give him the credit. And they was like, nah, Moyes is dead, blah, blah. Careful what you bitch for, honestly. Because honestly, the fall, I love it. I'm so here for it. We're done with West Ham. They're dead. Spurs 2-2 draw against Brighton. I did say this would probably not be. Well, again, I didn't really watch it. I've only seen the highlights of it. But from what I saw from the first goal, it looked as if we still had Ange in charge. When we watched the highlights before, I said, have they forgotten that it's Frank Ball now? Fulham have scored again.
2-1. Harry
Wilson.
Oh, man, rubbing salt in the wounds, man. Salt in the wounds. I don't need this.
What a turnaround
in the
for
West
Fulham.
London derby. So it was Ange Ball for me, that first goal. The line was hella high. I never want to see that again, please. We've moved on. Richarlison got Spurs back into it, and then it was an own goal to make it 2-2. Thomas Frank said that was our best performance.
Yeah. Are you happy with Thomas?
I was going to say,
apparently he said that was our best performance.
I've heard a lot of Spurs fans say the same thing. I was speaking to quite a few of them today, and they were saying that is one of the best attacking performances of the season so far. And if it wasn't for that Vicario disaster class for the second goal, it could have been a different game. But what have you made of him at the portion of the season?
Who, Thomas Frank?
Yeah, so comparing it to Ange Postecoglou. You've had a good little sample size now.
I like him. I like Thomas Frank. He wasn't going to be my first choice. I've said this a few times now, but I know that Fuad had been banging on the Thomas Frank drum, and I was kind of like more of an Iriola type of girl. Yeah. Like that's where I was sitting with it. But Thomas Frank come in, and also you have to remember, like when you've lost 22 times in a season, the bar is in hell, right? So like I had absolutely no expectation whatsoever for what this was going to look like. I didn't think that we would probably have as good of a window as we did in the summer. I didn't think I'd get my 3 wishes granted in terms of winning a trophy, and I see Daniel Levy leave as well. Yeah, so crazy. All in all, I was just kind of like, cool. I've won a trophy now. Where do I go from here? Like, my life's kind of complete. I like Thomas Frank. I like the fact that he can be more pragmatic. I like the fact that he is tactically aware, tactically astute. I like the fact that he can change games as they're going on. My only criticism would be just, I think maybe, and obviously because I haven't watched the full game today, and when I watch it back, I will be able to tell. But is the attacking side of it? It has just been a little bit. Maybe a bit lackluster going forward, but then I also have a look at the fact that we are missing still Maddison, we are missing Kulusevski. That would change, and Solanke as well. So
Xavi Simons still needs time to fully integrate himself.
Absolutely,
he looks alright in the week though.
I mean him. I want to really see in the 10 because that is what he's been brought in for. I've fallen in love with a lone player, which I tell you to never do. And João Palhinha, I fell in love with him after 45 minutes of watching him.
He's incredible. He's
so
good.
I can't really knock it. And also defensively, I know we've conceded 2 today. But in terms of us defensively, I haven't seen us been so solid in years. I'd seen Romero and Van de Ven play with each other 17 times because of the fitness issues prior to this season. So I can't really knock Thomas Frank. I want steady. I want a steady relationship at my club. That's all I want. And so far, he's delivering it to me.
I like the midfield. I do like Spurs' midfield. Bentancur, Paulino, and Bergville.
But and obviously Sarr's been brilliant.
Obviously he's key.
And Archie Gray, sorry.
You love Archie Gray. I actually think Archie Gray
should be getting more game time.
I think he should have gone back on loan to you because I was crying out last season. I was Archie Gray's number 1 fan. I was ringing that bell because even though we was losing every
number
week.
Number 2 fan, let me tell you.
Okay, no, you. But I was literally saying like I want to see him play in midfield. I want to see he's played left back, right back, centre back. I wanted to see him in his actual role, and actually he wasn't as what's the word? He didn't take to it like I thought he would.
What, in the central midfield?
Yeah, he did.
Because he didn't even play that when he was playing for us. Let me tell you, he did. No, he played right back the whole time. He was playing over Jed Spence at right back, ironically for us. So he never gets time in his natural position. No, he was shoehorned in at centre back for you. For the whole year.
He was doing everything, and even though we was losing, it wasn't going to be his fault. But I feel like he's not just going to displace Bergvall in the Prem. He's not going to displace Palhinha and he's not going to displace Sarr. So it's the cup games. Obviously, we've got Doncaster this week in the cup. So I think maybe that's a game for him.
And you're going to have injuries throughout the year as well.
We are going to have injuries. We are going to have injuries. But I wouldn't have been mad if he went back on loan to you.
It was never going to happen though. Because he didn't want to leave in the first place. But he was forced out for money reasons.
With the attack as well, you were saying about the attack. Like when I look at the front three that started today, Kudos, Richarlison, Odegaard. Like it's okay, but it's not outstanding. It's not anything crazy. But I will say Kudos has taken well to life at Tottenham. He started really, really well. We always saw the quality he had at West Ham, and in fact, when United went for Anthony, I wanted Kudos. Because at Ajax he looks really, really good. So he's a top player, and he's taken to Tottenham really well. And I just think he's already got going. Javi Simons, once he gets going, and then my only question is, your number 9, Richarlison, Solanke, and Kolo Muani.
Yeah,
it's all 3 of them are kind of like. I wouldn't say one of them is the outstanding candidate to make that number 9 their own. Richarlison started better, but obviously the other 2 are injured. So I do wonder what happens there. Cause you've got 3 similar level number 9s.
I think it's nice in the fact that you can all fight for your players because you're all kind of at a similar level.
It's good to have options,
I have this thing for Richarlison. I've got this soft spot. I don't know why, because I know, and it's again the price tag. When I look at the price tag of those 2 in particular, not Kolo Muani, but I look at Dominic Solanke, who's not worth 65 million. That's really realistically, it's a 45 million pound player with 20 million English tax on it. Richarlison was never a 60 million pound player. That's just ludicrous that they went and paid it. It's not his fault. I love Richarlison's work rate. I love the fact that he will always throw himself about and he will like leave blood, sweat and tears on the pitch.
He's a dog.
That's a Thomas Frank player.
That's a Thomas Frank player. And I think with Solanke that again last season it's hard to. He's always been up and down because you look at his time at Chelsea, average, like below average, really. You look at Liverpool, same. And you look at that one season at Bournemouth. He wasn't, again, my first choice. When we were talking last summer about who would Spurs bring in, I leaned more towards an Ivan Toney. But obviously, it's also about the personality and how you're going to gel with the squad. And that's essentially why Arsenal didn't go for him as well as Spurs. So I don't mind Solanke. I just think he needs, again, more creativity. He needs to be fed a little bit more. And last season with Spurs, they weren't doing that because we weren't doing anything other than just catching L's. And then obviously this season, he's been injured. So I find it hard to really gauge if we've bought the Bournemouth Solanke or if I've got the Liverpool Solanke.
Yeah, and then so then is Solanke's injury record or problems, is that why you brought Kolo Muani in on loan? I do find that odd a little bit, that one.
I think it's
the
just
Kolo Muani
that's
one.
a good signing.
No, it is a good signing, but I also find it very weird. I find it very weird from a Kolo Muani standpoint. Why would Kolo Muani go? That's also another question I have.
Game time, isn't it?
Weird. His game time is going to be limited.
But you have to remember, Spurs have got games this season. You've got Champions League. You've got hopefully they get past this round of the Carabao Cup. We usually go out, but Carabao Cup, you have FA Cup. You've got the Premier League. You've got to have strength in depth. And I look at us last season, how many injuries we had. Is that down to Ange Ball? Is that down
partly?
To, like we'll see over the course of
games,
this season? But you look across every single Premier League club, you have to have so much squad depth because you're playing games all the time. You're playing games in loads of different competitions. So if you want to be able to be competitive, which I feel like Spurs have improved dramatically over the summer. So I guess we shall see.
And I think with Kolo Muani and Richarlison, and then you slide Kudus in there, what you have is an extremely threatening counter-attack. And that's Frank is very good at setting you up in a very well-structured way and breaking through teams on the counter-attack. And Richarlison, as you say, I think he is, aside from Kolo Muani, he is the crown amongst the jewel in there because when he is on form, he genuinely is a phenomenal striker. He's got it all, the tenacity, the pressing, the finishing quality. The problem with him, as you say, is he's got purple patches and then he's got bad patches. But that is why I think someone like Kolo Muani is going to have enough game time in there. Xavi Simons, as you said, actually did come on in that midfield role, the central midfield role. So you've got a lot of dynamism and a lot of movement up there. I think this is one of the most exciting Tottenham Hotspur attacks you've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And also you've broken that curse that you had of not winning a trophy, which is actually
you're gonna break.
I've seen like a big difference just mentally in the way they're playing. I don't know if it's some delusional thing for me looking at it, but I've seen
it's still early.
No, but I see big differences.
They said that with Ange. They said that with Ange.
Even the PSG game, they were very unlucky to not win that PSG game.
No, but that again, for me, that was the Spursiest thing ever.
It was.
Because I was sitting there thinking, like, wow, are we actually serious? Like, had the Spursies had been broken, and I was like, nope.
The thing is as well, I've seen Spurs start on fire.
They do this all the time, and then they teeter off.
Listen,
but I think under this manager, we will see a consistent level. We'll see a consistent level.
I will not say anything. Right, let's quickly move on then, because we have got again another big weekend. Of football tomorrow is it's the big one. It's the big one. Arsenal and Manchester City tomorrow, 4:30. What a Super Sunday that we have. And I can't lie. I think Arsenal are going to win this.
Yeah, we should. we have to.
Favourites.
Look, this is not taking away anything from Man City and Pep Guardiola. It doesn't matter what era or what stage Pep is in with his team. They are still a formidable side. So I'm not going to take all of this. They're still struggling. They've dropped points. Yes, they dropped points. I watched that game against Brighton and they looked very frail at the back. But I watched them also in the Champions League and I'm looking at characters like your Doku's, obviously, who's going to cause a threat. But that'll be interesting to see the competition between him if he plays against Timber. Because Timber's, for me, is one of the best right backs.
It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it'll be a very, very good matchup because Doku's he's difficult to pick up. Phil Foden, him getting a goal or him getting an assist as well, he's going to be a threat. Who's going to pick him up? So we're playing at home, so we've got the advantage, 100%. But I just feel like in order for us to go forth and say, we really want to be title contenders, we need to set an example, and it's beaten convincingly Man City. We done it last season, yes, with the whole Miles Lewis Skelly and everything like that, the celebration, but I feel like this is a very important game for us, especially off of the back of that loss from Liverpool. I'm not talking about, we done well in Europe this week, everything was fine, Martinelli, etc. I've already apologised to him, but I just feel like it's let's get back to the main script. It is to win the Premier League. Man City are in our way, Liverpool are in our way. We have to dispatch them. But
how do you reckon he sets up in this? And do you reckon he goes a bit more pragmatic with a Mourinho in there, or what do you think he does? Because that, based on just Arteta's history and being a bit Stoke-like, you would think that he will, even though you don't need to do that and you're at home, I still think he will lean more on the side of caution.
He may do. I would like to see, because the biggest thing is if Odegaard's fit. If Odegaard's fit, then obviously Odegaard will start. But if he's not fit, he'll probably put Moreno there. And then the question is, Eze. Is he going to start Eze on the left, or is he going to start Martinelli after he had that performance?
Would you not like to see Eze start over Odegaard and then Martinelli on the left?
100%. I'd love to see. If we don't have an option of Odegaard for this game, I'd love to see Eze. But then I think Arteta he wouldn't want to throw Eze into that type of game right now. And
why then?
I know
because he hasn't played there yet.
Because he hasn't played there for us.
I get that, but we're not talking about him coming from a different league. We're talking about him coming from South London.
I know. No.
Like the guy,
quite a big journey.
He's been one of the best players in the league for years. He can play in a game of that level.
And that's where I was so upset when it was the Anfield game and he didn't play him. He didn't start him. And that for me was like, okay, what have you seen, Arteta? What is it that you're not convinced to say? So he's kind of said, right, you have to come in, play on the left, learn how we play, learn how defensively to get back, etc., where you need to position yourself. But for me, I would love to have Eze in that 10 role for this game, because it will. These games are the ones where you have to change. You got to throw something out there different, and that's what Pep always done against us. You put like Bernardo Silva left back or something like that, and you'd be like, "What the fuck? What is he doing there? Why is he there?" And you end up having a fantastic game. Arnie Slot done that against us. Szoboszlai at right back. So for us, I would love it to see us, kind of change the script and put Eze in a number 10 role. But
what? So you're talking 2-man midfield, Zubimendi, Rice behind him.
Rice, 100%.
Against Man City, they're not very risky though. They have a lot of quality to punish you in that midfield.
Of course, but I just feel like
Silva, Rodri.
I feel like they're still lacking something. Rodri doesn't seem like he's back to the Rodri that we know.
Definitely not.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Reinders, fantastic going forward. Defensively, is he astute in terms of picking up those right positions defensively? I feel like Man City are there for the taking. They're probably at their most vulnerable compared to the Pep teams that we've seen.
Yeah.
And because of how they're playing their football in terms of going forward, it's just about when they're being counter-attacked. So this is a game for us where I'm looking at Arteta, I'm saying, all right, cool. Are you going to play with your front foot? And are you going to really...
Take the handbrake off.
Take the handbrake off, because I'm sick and tired of it. But at the back, I want to see... I'd like to see Mosquera there, because I think he's been quality. He's been really, really good. And Gabriel.
One thing I found quite interesting about City when we played them, obviously it's United, so but so when they went 2-0 up in the first half, I think they scored their second in the second half. But either way, when they went 2-0 up, Pep just basically went, right, we're gonna sit in a low block because we know you can't break us down. And then we know we can hurt you on the counter-attack, which over the years, we've not really seen that from Pep. That's a bit different from Pep. Yeah. So I do wonder if he sees this Arsenal game, knowing that Arsenal in the past has struggled against low blocks, and knowing that Doku, Foden, Haaland, they can hurt Arsenal in the transition. And equally, when Arsenal sit in the low block, when Arsenal are in their structured defensive shape, they're very hard to break down.
We are.
So can you get them on the counter?
We don't
because
concede.
That might be the only other way you can score against Arsenal, because right now defensively
we haven't conceded,
if not the best in the world defensively.
I agree with you completely.
So I do wonder. It's going to be interesting how Pep actually go. It's because in years gone by, it's a very different game for Pep going to the Emirates.
Yeah,
in terms of Arsenal are the clear favourites.
You would always look at this game and you would kind of be like, oh yeah, Man City are gonna. I've been there, I've worked there, I've seen it. They've embarrassed us how many times?
Loads.
Yeah, so it's like for me, it's just. I want the Arsenal team to remember those moments and to maybe instill fear in them. They're not back to their best, Man City, no way.
I feel like where Arsenal are in terms of like the pendulum shifting, anything less than a win, you should be disappointed.
I'll be disappointed with a draw, let's say.
Yeah.
Because this has to be your year. This has to be your
Every
year.
year's their year.
No, but this. I think that period of the building period. It's going because Liverpool with the young players they've signed. No, not the building period. Sorry, but as in this is the final phase. Liverpool next year with the young players they signed are only going to get better. City are not going to drop off like this again.
Yeah.
This is your chance. I think with the players you've signed, this is it. And I think this is must win.
Who said
must win situation?
No,
and
100%.
I think I actually have faith in you because I think this Arsenal side is one of the most complete sides I've seen a Premier League team have for a long time. Best defence in the league.
You talk about, I think Abs brought up obviously having like depth in your squad. We have probably got one of the best squads.
So much strength and depth. Because that's what cost you last year was your strength and depth. You did not have it at all.
Yeah, we've got it now.
In attacking areas, you are stacked.
We are, and there's players that are still missing. You know, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. You know,
Saka out.
Saka's out. Yeah. You know, so the fact that you got Madueke's been doing well for us, so he might play a part tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting game. I think this is going to be a close call. I'm probably going to go with actually not a close call. It would be like a 3-1.
You said this needed to be a statement win.
3-1. I think it'll be like a 3-1. But I'd be really happy if we got a clean sheet against them. Then
I was going to say I could see like a 1-0. Yeah, I really could.
You reckon a 1-0?
Another set piece job.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Because everyone's like, I know they all kind of go with the Haaland's going to score. Haaland. I don't think Haaland's really going to get a sniff tomorrow.
Rangers.
The thing is,
you reckon?
The thing is, even
coming from deep,
even last year when similar kind of circumstances, City were at some point awful last year.
Yeah.
In both fixtures, Haaland still scored. He is just that kind of guy where just give him a sniff and he might take it. So I still think he could, and especially if he sort of leans on Mascara. Obviously, Mascara's been good, but he's obviously...
Is Saliba definitely not fit for this?
He's fit, but I just feel based on merit, based on the performances that Mascara's been putting in, I think Mascara should start. That's how I feel.
Do you think Mikel Arteta will start Mascara? If Saliba's fit and available.
If Saliba's 100% fit, 100% fit, yeah, he'll probably start Saliba, but I don't think...
He has been very good, Mascara.
Yeah, yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
You don't have to, but you also don't need to rush him back because
this is the thing. Good. This is the thing, and it's the same with Saka. We don't need to rush them back. If Madueke's putting in the performances, I'm happy with that. I just feel like I don't want it to be a thing of, oh, look, they're ready, put them back in, and then he ends up getting injured again, and it's a further setback for us. So... yeah, no, tomorrow it's a psychological battle. It's always against City. Master versus apprentice, as they say. But I just feel like Arteta we need this win, 100%. We need this win in order for us to say, yeah, we are going to go all the way toe-to-toe with Liverpool.
Okay, so you went 3-1. 3-1. What's yours, James?
I think it's going to be a close one. I might go with a 2-2 draw.
I went with that.
2-2 draw.
Actually, you know what? I've got to back Arsenal. I'll go 3.
Why have you got to back Arsenal?
Yes.
I got to back the Gooners. I got to change it to a 3-2.
Yes, Sammy. What do you mean?
What's your
Why?
beef with City?
I don't have a beef with City. I like City, but I just feel like something is telling me inside my body. My brain is telling me it's a draw. But there's something inside that's
what's
saying...
your heart? Follow your heart.
I feel like something's telling me this is Arsenal's year. And I feel like if it's going to be, this is the statement they need to make. This is the game that will decide whether they are going to be there or thereabouts at Liverpool or not, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's about the finishers.
Have to pull it out.
Gyökeres, I'm looking at you as well, son. I'm looking at you because all of these people are doubting you and they're saying that you can't play against big teams. This is your moment to stand up on the stage and score.
He's not scoring.
Come on, don't talk to me and you got Sesko there.
No, don't get me wrong. I like Gyökeres, but he's shown time and time again he doesn't score against big sides.
Clip it. I'll be here next week.
You stat padding.
Yeah.
He loves a stat pad against it.
Come on,
everyone stat pad against Leeds.
Gyökeres, you hear that? You hear that, Gyökeres?
About to fire blanks left, right, and centre.
Come on, man.
Nick, what was your prediction for this?
I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0.
1-0, tight one, but I think Arsenal get
1-0 Arsenal.
What about you?
I went yesterday with, not even yesterday, what's the day today? Saturday. I went on Thursday's show with a 2-2. Now, I understand the argument that Arsenal don't concede, right?
In open play?
I just felt like, firstly, I feel like you might win. I feel that way, but we know I do the bad mind thing, right? Yeah. But I feel like this could be, and I hope it is, a very entertaining game.
Yeah,
or it could just be like you out chess each other, and it could be like a 0-0. And I don't think any of us want to see that. So I'm sticking with what I did on Thursday, which is a 2-2. But
to be fair, Foden and Doku are hitting form at the right time for City as well. That's and Haaland. To be fair, I mean Haaland's Haaland all the time, but he's getting in the goals. So
it's hard to really manage your expectations when obviously last week they played you and Doku looked good. So like,
cheers. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, nice.
You're welcome. We are going to finish the show now, so I thought we'd go out on something like that.
Good note.
Another game tomorrow is Bournemouth, Newcastle. And Sunderland Villa. There was a super chat as well about asking us what our thoughts are on Aston Villa. So quickly, what do we think? Will Unai Emery last the season?
Aston Villa look like they're struggling. Will he last the season?
They're on 2 points.
Yeah, no, I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
It's too early to say, man. This is
but
the
they
thing,
just don't
5 games. People are so quick to rush. I know they've fallen off a cliff dramatically, as you said. 2 points is very shocking to look at them, and you're thinking it is not a snowball's chance in hell they're climbing out of that anytime soon. But I think it's too early, man. You've got to give him another 3-4 games.
Really
for what he's done
good.
at Villa already, he's got a winning manager, man.
I agree. Yeah, totally agree.
He's got time. Yeah, okay.
I think, prediction for that one?
To be honest, after all of that, no, it would be a draw.
Draw. What do you reckon, guys?
The wheels are going to fall off this Sunderland train very, very soon. I can tell you that for free, mate. Sunderland are flying right now in everyone's expectations. But I watched a lot of Sunderland last year, and yes, they've signed a lot of new players. The wheels are going to fall off. This manager is prone to making mistakes. Things are not quite as they seem, but I think they will have enough. It will be a cagey draw. So I've seen this guy make a few blunders last year. Let me tell you. So I got experience with this manager.
Nick, prediction
based on Villa this season, I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. How exciting!
How exciting!
It's gonna be a draw, isn't it, people?
And just also quickly, the Bournemouth Newcastle game.
Ooh. I actually think Bournemouth might take it because I think Newcastle off the back of a tough Champions League game, little bit drained.
They got schooled, mate. They got schooled by Barca.
Yeah, I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's Barcelona. They're a great side. So I'm actually gonna go 2-0 Bournemouth.
2-0 Bournemouth.
Semenyo, yeah. I would say goal scorer for me as well, Semenyo.
I can't remember what I said the other day, but I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think I'll do 2-0.
2-0 Bournemouth. Now, the Toons, mate. The Toons have got this, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a massive edge goal fest. I think they're still finding their feet after the Isak thing, so I'll probably go the 2-0 or 2-1.
All right, let's just do a few final super chats, guys. Please do smash the like button as well on your way out if you're not doing it already. Carl Bates said our thoughts on Aston Villa start to the season. We did just talk about that, so I hope that answered your question. KC2K26 said Virgil van Dijk is a big man in a little boy era. Shearer, Drogba, Henry would violate him without breaking a sweat. Look, that is something that it always comes up.
Only Henry, maybe I'll say but the rest of them...
Don't put shade on Drogba.
Yeah, but Haaland's a big man. He didn't violate Van Dijk.
Also, it's a totally...
Rooney would violate him as well.
Yeah.
Rooney would just drop inside.
It's a different league. Different times. We can't compare it to that. We just got to go on the here and now. Ronnie Dodge says, hey, Abby, hope you're well. Arsenal need to win tomorrow. Hopefully they don't. And James Bauer says, you can thank the thick brown envelope that Slot gave to the refs for that game. The red shite were booting Shrewsbury Hall, Garner, Ndiaye and Gay all over the pitch. First goal, they kicked Ndiaye. +3 stoppage, lol.
Yeah,
they only
we didn't even talk about that.
They added on 2 minutes at the end of full time.
3 minutes.
And there was subs, there was goals.
Yeah,
so that was a little bit.
And said it. He wasn't happy with that.
Not Liverpool fans moaning about that.
Called it out. Well done.
Not them moaning about the refs. But anyway, please do, as I said, smash the like button when you leave. Thank you so much for joining us for the Saturday Football Show. Thank you, Quams. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
I will see you all on Monday for Weekend Roundup, and we will be back every single Saturday for this delightful show that is now back with you after many years out. So take care, have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Calling all football fans in the UK, it's official. GFN Soccer TV has launched on Samsung TV Plus. All the banter, all the news, all the time.